Hello, welcome back to what we're calling mental health check-in. How about that? But really, the show is Your Wellness and You with Dr. Lulu. I know this is the third name I've come up with now, but I think this one is gonna stay. So it's called Your Wellness and You with Dr. Lulu. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Mom Nutrition, coming at y'all from South Texas. It is hot, it is humid, but we have a beautiful queenager, maybe, I don't know. But we have a beautiful mochalicious duck with us today, and that's what I like to call them. So her name is Dr. Candace Drummond. We met in a Facebook group challenge thing, and it was instant connection. So y'all, you're in for a treat today. Dr. Drummond, how are you doing, girl?
I'm doing better. It's been a roller coaster the last few months, but I'm definitely doing better this week.
Yeah, and you know what? I like that. You're taking it bite sizes, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time if you have to. Sometimes I take it 1 hour at a time. I try not to
Yeah.
let things hold me down anymore. And sometimes I think I'm crazy for not allowing them to hold me down, but I don't want them to hold me down. Life is short. So I know
Yeah,
you.
I mean it's really, like, it's for me, it's really important to stay present and to not allow, like you said, things to hold me down, because I'm a single mom. I have a 4-year-old. She just turned 4 like 4 days ago.
Wait,
And so
what's the date of birth?
June 3rd.
Oh, okay, my baby is May 29th.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so yeah, I can't really allow myself to fall apart or anything like that. I really gotta, like you mentioned in many of your other series, like, you're expected to kind of stay strong and not break. And yeah, so yeah.
I ask you to give yourself grace. I ask you to allow yourself to fall apart. I plead with you to allow your daughter to see the vulnerability because I realize now, well, I've always shown my kids that, but I realize now as a grown up, my dad never showed me. He was stoic the whole time. It's not possible. I know he had lows, but I never saw them. And so my dad was up here for me. And then when I grew up, I was like, wait, but this boyfriend was broken. That boyfriend was broken. And that husband was broken. I'm like, wait, could it be that my dad was just not whole and he was just hiding it really well? To what gain? Like, well, I think it's, of course, it's easy for me to say that now. This is the hindsight. And I know he did what he had
Hindsight.
to do. But I think I'm showing my children right now that it's completely okay to fall apart if you have to, so that your kids can see that life is not easy, especially for the Black person today. Like, we need to fall apart and then gather back up so that your kids can learn resiliency. Otherwise, if all they see is you being perfect all the time, the first sign of trauma or break, like, what is that? I don't know anything about it. We need to teach our kids resiliency. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So
mean, yeah, like, I guess to kind of segue into how I personally handled the lockdown, the COVID, the changes, I mean, everything, my, like I said, I'm a single mom. My daughter has been home with me since March 10th. So we're going on 90 days together. It has been really, really tough. The first 2 weeks or so, I suffered from really serious loneliness, because when she went to school was really my opportunity to engage and to socialize and to, quote unquote, have a life. And because she stopped going to school, I stopped having a life. And it really took a toll on me. And I felt the loss and the sadness. And she did see me fall apart a couple of times, and the beautiful thing about it, and I guess that also kind of is a testament to the type of mom that I am to her. But anytime that I'm sad, or she'll come very, very close to me, and
yes.
she'll mommy, breathe. I'm here. It's okay. And she'll rub me very gently. And so it tells me that I suppose when she's struggling with things, I also hold her and, encourage her to breathe through it. It's all right. All of the emotions. And I tell that to her all the time, all of the emotions are okay to have. Like, even if you're mad at me, it's okay for you to be mad at me. You just can't be disrespectful. And you've got to be able to, handle it in a way. And to be perfectly honest, even at 3, on going, at 4 now, I've always encouraged her to argue with me almost. If you can,
I think within reason, yes, within reason, hold her ground,
exactly,
within reason.
within
Yeah,
reason.
I like that.
If you can bring to me a solid argument as to why your way is better than what I've put in place, then I'm definitely willing and accepting to listen, and absolutely you win. But if you're not able to articulate that, then work on it. Work on it until, because I've always rewarded language, because I'm not good at tantrums. I'm sorry. I don't feed into them. I don't reward them. I don't even see them, really. And so my daughter is not a tantrum thrower. She's very much a talker. I mean, she literally talks from the moment she wakes up in the morning to the moment she goes to sleep at night, and she talks in her sleep. And I mean, she talks that, like, she's always articulating what it is that she wants, what it is that she needs, how she's feeling. At the end of each day, like, we can again go into kind of how she handled the whole separation, because we're alone in a new city. We're in Atlanta, and we were just starting to build a baby network of people to support us when everything just kind of shut down. And so it really just fell back on me entirely, like I said, around the clock, all the time. Like, it became.
Yes. And you know what? I don't think anybody in their right minds will judge you. That person is lying. Because even with my kids being grown, I think what saved me is they are grown. And then what also saved me is that they're 3. So they have each other. And then, it's a different energy altogether. But my baby yesterday, I'm giving a talk on Wednesday about COVID-19 and teenagers. I think it's your teen and COVID-19, something like that. We came up with that nice rhyme to it. I said, son, so how are you? He said, Mom, I'm really, 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 really bored. I mean, I could hear it. He's like, Mom, oh. I said, but you play? He said, yes, but the video games, he said his own words, like, but the video games can only go so far. I couldn't believe it. I said, but you have your brother. He said, yes, thank God. He said, yes, thank God. Like, if he was an only child, I can see it being really rough. And, he's 15. So he's about his friends. He plays basketball. He's a baller. He's 5'10". He's just, energy, all of that. And then so I gave them grace. I was like, as long as you do your schoolwork, which is really 2 hours a day or 1, you could play all the video games you want, baby. You could knock it out. Go to bed at 3 o'clock if you want to. Don't bother me, because it is rough. They do FaceTime with their friends. It's better than 1918 when we had the Spanish flu.
It's better technology-wise.
Yes. So how did you, on a personal note, coming back to you, not your daughter, how did you get past all of that? I can only imagine. I have a spouse and 3 kids, and I was still lonely. So how did you manage?
So, to be perfectly honest, I created a webinar, because what I did was I found a process that worked. And so I created this schedule where I created like work blocks for myself and for my daughter that were about 2 hours long each. 1 work block in the morning, 1 work block in the afternoon. And that allowed for me to kind of keep up with the work stuff that I still had to do, because professionally, we'll talk about the drop in that a little later. But that allowed for me to keep up with my stuff, but also allowed for her to feel like she was involved, because I'm not a preschool teacher. I am not, you know, and we had an argument about the number 10 for about, 7 or 8 minutes straight, because I'm like, all right, so this number is the number 1 and this number is the number 0, and together they make the number crickets, right? Damn it, man. It's
I love the fact that you allowed yourself to say damn it. Okay, so yes, because sometimes you want to say damn. You want to say it worse than damn it. And you know what, damn, say it. Because it is real life. I have never, and again, like I said, my kids are older, but I've never had so much respect for teachers than now. And now, all the parents, did you see the video? There was a video that went viral, this guy that was like saying thank you to the parents, to the teachers. Excuse me, did I say parents? I meant teachers. That will say thank you to the teachers, that he never knew that his son was so bad, that they tell him his son is bad, and he was like, oh, you're picking on my son, like, oh my God, that his son, I was like, I think he was joking, but still, it's like, oh my God. But it's real. Parents are like, what is this? And then
let me tell you, my daughter, when people say, oh, there was one who started this whole ringleader thing and they say it's mine, I'm like, yeah, that one's mine.
Believe it. That's amazing. But
Yeah.
the beautiful thing is, just don't take that personality away from her. I know when I was younger, and I say this a lot, I say, I used to get in trouble a lot for talking. And now I get paid as a speaker. So you know what? Bring it, bring it. This is my comfort zone. I did get phonotrauma when I first started my podcast, and I got a virus in Singapore, and my vocal cords swelled up. And the doctor put me on 10 days voice rest. Oh my God, like I was gonna die. My family was so happy. They're like, yes. I'm like, oh yeah. So anyway, that's great. But
I made this schedule for us that allowed for me to create time in the day where she was asleep, and I could actually take a hot bath. I could create this webinar. I could do things that made me feel connected and made me feel productive. And we'll talk a little bit about my 3 Ps. I've got like these 3 Ps.
I was even going to say, I forgot to ask you to introduce yourself. So maybe when we get to the professional part, and we just kind of went.
Yes, I'll do that in the professional part.
Oh, goodness.
But yes, my 3 Ps are positive, productive, and present. And so these are the 3 Ps that I need in order to pretty much survive. And so in order to stay positive, I'm very, very selective with what I allow inside my orbit, what I consume from the media, from the environment, from other people. I am very, very, very selective. I haven't owned a TV in 16 years. I wasn't even on social media until March 1st. So I'm celebrating my 3-month anniversary on social media. I am very, very selective, and pretty much all of the groups that I'm a member of are groups that provide positive information. Like the group that we met in, like you said, the Rise Up Challenge. I'm in other groups, like I said, that nourish me, that teach me, things that show me how to build community, things that show me how to build a network, and how to do things the right way without stepping on people or hurting people or using people. Like, these are the things that I allow into my orbit. In order to stay productive, again, like I said, I learn every day, and then I implement what I learn. I learned in the Rise Up Challenge how to create this webinar. I created it, launched it, put it online, everything. It still hasn't sold a single copy.
Oh, I was gonna wait. I was gonna say, they haven't taught us how to do a webinar, girl. You're ahead of class.
Yes, they did. When they did the low ticket offer, April 9th.
You did say we should do a virtual event. I think that's what you meant, because I had a virtual.
I'm I'm telling you, April 9th, go back in your notes, April 9th, they did the low ticket offer. It was Julie Stoic or something like that. She is the one who took exactly the points that you needed in order to create this webinar. So yes, right there.
Maybe I didn't know, but I did do my low ticket offer, which was my virtual event. It was my first event, which was a low ticket offer, because I was like, I'm gonna just do it before I talk myself out of it, you know? I quickly did it, put it together. It took me 10 days, and boom, we had 21 people show up. I was like, yes. So,
yes.
I tell you.
Yes, that's exactly. I mean, it's just to kind of keep moving, keep going. Don't allow yourself to get paralyzed by fear. Don't allow yourself to stop. Like I said, just stop, get stagnant. And so that's I said, the productive is very important. And then the last P is present. So in order to avoid anxiety, you can't go or project too far forward. In order to avoid depression, you can't go too far backwards. And so it is very important to stay as close to right now as humanly possible. And that also allows me to fully enjoy whatever I'm doing right now. And so whenever my daughter starts to annoy the heck out of me, I remind myself that if she were sick, if she weren't healthy, if she weren't smart, if she weren't all of these things that I love about her, then she wouldn't be able to annoy me. And so what that does is no longer am I annoyed. Now I'm just so grateful that she's this amazing person that I love and wanna cherish and spend that time, like I said, really be present in that moment with her and you know, whatever it is we're doing that day.
I am definitely still your 3 Ps. I love it, love it, love it. Because that part of being present, honey, that is, you hit the jackpot with that one. Because your baby can get all of you. Are you kidding me? Because you know, I know what you said about everything that I love about her. And that is what they say. You know, you meet someone, you fall in love with them, and you guys are, oh, he completes me, and oh, and then everything that you love about him is going to be the exact same thing that will drive you nuts. So yes. How to work around it, this is great. Just, you know, just stay in the moment. I mean, we say that a lot, but are we really staying in the moment? Because, I mean, talking about your daughter, that's actually a nice segue into the second part, which is, how are you doing with how is your family doing? And, you know, for me, because my family is in Nigeria, so when you ask me how my family doing, I'm like, which generation are you asking about? But, you know, I have family here, I have family here, there. So how is your family doing? Has the COVID-19 affected them at all?
So my parents and my younger brother live in Florida, in Palm Beach. My mom works at a supermarket, and so she is essential. She's out pretty much every single day. My family are also foster parents, and so they have 4 small children who live in the house as well. So during the lockdown time, it was very stressful on them as well, because my mom wasn't in the house most of the time, and so my father was in the house with my younger, you know, teenage brother. He's 19, and these 4 small boys. And so, you know, I don't know if you know anything about how men act, but they act as if everything that we do is like the hardest thing on the planet. So, you know, I
have a story for you.
But they do. They like, I mean, you know, I'll be there, and it's like, okay, let's bathe the kids, let's feed the kids. Not a big deal. You know, my dad is like, oh, it's gonna be 3 hours for me to bathe the kids, and I'm like, what are you talking about, Dad? Like,
you raised us. But you know what? That's typical. That's typical. I don't want anybody to think we're bashing men here, but I'm telling you.
No, not at all, not at all.
No, but I have
to,
like
certain people are good at certain things.
Exactly. Well, I was going to say to you, but I'm raising 3 boys. I have no choice. The middleman child caught himself trying to become a tea drinker. He said, Mom, I want to start drinking tea. I'm like, okay, COVID-19, okay. So how do we make tea? I said, wait, what do you mean? He said, how do you make it? I said, what do you mean, how do you make it? He really did not know how to make tea. Needless to say, now he knows, you know, but just a little thing like, he said, but Mom, I've never really watched you make it. I'm like, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. So
water.
You
tea
think I
bag.
know, yeah. Hey, you think to you it's like, yeah, but mom, I've just and I had to live again, be gracious and say to him, okay, you know what, in all fairness, you have never watched me. You just usually see me, the tea is made. But what do you think? He said, I know that we use what I said, very good. You know, it's hot, very good. So let's go from known to unknown. And then the rest is history. But yeah, I was like, no, 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 no. What do you mean you don't know how to make tea? But he just never really ever had to make it. And then, we live in Texas, so it's not a tea drinking place per se. But I started drinking tea a while back, and then we have a lot of tea. And then finally I went to the store and bought him his own Lipton tea bag. I said, stop messing with my, my fancy expensive tea. Drink your Lipton tea bag. So
But I can go ahead and I guess women bash it for myself, but I definitely make everything that has anything to do with technology look as if it is like rocket science, okay?
wait, high five, boom. Oh my! You remember you remember the first time you interviewed me? What happened?
Yes, yes. That we had to scrap that whole episode, but it's okay because the one where you came back, we blew up, so it's
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes. No, no, no. But I'm like you with technology. I'm like, guys, how do you turn it on? They're like, mom,
Yes. I can't even work a remote control anymore because, like I said, I haven't had a TV in 16 years. So remote
I'm proud of you
controls
for
look
that.
like cell phones to me. I don't know
I'm
how to
very, very
work that.
proud of you. I'm very proud of you for that because I have TVs. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't watch. So I will watch a thing or two, but for the most part, on any given day, I'm writing my book, I'm doing something, I'm not watching. But I
Productive.
love what you're doing. I love exactly. You see, and I, in fact, today I said to myself, I said, I said to myself, I said, self, make sure you don't get burned out. I said that out loud. I actually said it. I didn't know when I said it loud. I said, make sure you don't get burned out. And I was like, okay, well, I don't think I will because what I do is each day is for something different. Like Mondays is for podcasts, and then Tuesdays for like my book, and then Wednesday for like online course. Thursday, like that. I have different things to avoid, to keep changing, so that I'm not, stuck in the rut. So yeah, I feel you on that. Wow, I tell you, that's good. That's good. I mean, 16 years is definitely a long time, but kudos to you on
Yeah,
your.
when I was 19, it was one of the first things that I cut. I cut my cable bill. I got rid of my TV and never looked back. Actually, for about 2 years, I think I had a TV that wasn't connected to anything. It didn't even plug in. It was just for aesthetics. But but I haven't had a TV in a long, long,
I'm so
long
proud of
time.
you. Wow, you got me beat for sure. Because one thing I heard was like so many thousand hours per year that people watch TV when they did the numbers. It was like so many thousand. Like, yikes! But it's true. It's true. So,
Yeah,
wow.
I'm very, like I said, very mindful of anything that's gonna like suck my attention. Like if I get stuck in something, let's say I'm watching, I have a Netflix and chill day, and I find myself kind of caught up in a series that I'm staying up late, or I'm forgetting that I had an appointment or anything like that. I won't watch that again for like 3 or 4 weeks. Like, yeah, exactly. Like,
Say that.
yeah, we're not doing that.
I knew you were going to say that. A complete mix.
Yeah.
Complete mix. Oh my God. Well, you know what? Congratulations on being that productive. That's amazing because the P brings us to the third part. Professional. How is that going?
So, my name, like she says, is Dr. Candace Drummond.
Oh goodness.
I am,
Sorry, I'm outdoors and my Texas bugs want to eat me up.
it's
Sorry,
okay.
sorry about that.
I'm a clinical psychologist and licensed mental health counselor in Florida. I'm also a certified financial planner and licensed insurance agent in Florida. What I do
Wait, did you
currently,
live in Atlanta now?
I live in Atlanta now, correct? But what I do is I work mostly with private practice physicians and mental health practitioners to expand their practice, improve their financial and occupational life, and improve their work-life balance. So I increase revenue, I help them attract and retain more patients, and then I also help them to work less. So that is really the thing that I do. But professionally, prior to COVID, I still have these contracts, but I have contracts with the Department of Health, Department of Education, Division of Vocational Rehab, and Division of Disability Services, along with some community agencies that did vocational services, and a few private practices that we worked with. When COVID came, all of them stopped. We had a 87% drop in revenue between February and March. When I started the Rise Up Challenge with Dr. Lulu, I was facing down my first potential week with no clients whatsoever, coming off of weeks with between 20 to 50 patients in a week. My practice had 13 locations, brick and mortar locations around the state of Florida. 7 of those closed completely. There are others that have transitioned from full-time locations to I guess temporary or flex locations that the different locations have created for this dilemma. And government offices were closed to the public. So the government offices sent their workers home. You know, they did some paperwork, some filing, that sort of thing, but they were no longer doing intakes and seeing new clients, and so we weren't getting any patients. So we pretty much, like I said, saw a 90% drop in revenue.
So before you even go any further, so that really does add to the stress that you had. And I'm going to say this, and I know you probably won't believe it, but the first day I saw you doing your first live on Rise Up Challenge, I knew that your eyes looked very distressed, because I'm an energy person, and I tell people that all the time. And the more I've allowed, you know how the surrender to the process of the energy, I get vibes. Oh my God, I don't want to get the vibe, and I get the vibe. And I want to get the vibe, and I get the vibe. You know, the vibes just keep coming, because I now know that I need that for the kind of work that I do also. But I saw your eyes and I was like, this girl needs a hug. You know, I just right away. I didn't know why. And so I reached out to you. And that was why I reached out to you. And I said something like, oh, you did awesome. And then you responded. Yeah. Okay. But I didn't say anything else, because I don't want to put, oh, your eyes look like you need a hug. No, I just said, you did great, because I was like, I need to give her some positive energy. That's what I was told by my ancestors. So I was like, I need to pump joy into this chica, because, you know, I could tell. I went from 3 sources of income to one. I had to tell my landlord, my practice, I said, this is the last month. I'm going fully virtual. And it's okay. It's okay. I got a new patient today. I got a new adult patient. I got 2 new patients today. So, and one adult is in somewhere, I don't know where. So this has been good. You learn to pivot like crazy. But I do want to hear what you did. I want to, because I know the listeners want to know, how did you do it? How did you survive? Because I saw your posts. You got 5,000 views on something. I was like, what's going on with this chica? Slaying. Brand new on social media. Are you kidding me? I love it. I love it. I love it. What did you do, girl?
Oh, yeah. I pivoted something serious. So like I said, I got on social media and I learned everything that I could. On April 28th, I started a Facebook Live series. I made another relationship with the founder of a group called the Entrepreneurs Networking and Support Group. And they had about 11,000 members at the time. And he wanted to start creating content for the group. And so he asked me to start creating this weekly Facebook Live to have in his group. And so I started out there, and also met from that group a woman that lives in Tacoma, Washington, who was really impressed with my business plan and my model and what I do and what I do for doctors. And so she offered to help me promote and market it for free. And so she, you know, she started to make these cute little videos and put it out into some groups and just out into the ether, as I call it.
Yes, exactly. The ether. You must have read that book, Think and Grow Rich, because he was all about his ether, baby. He was all about his ether.
So I just put it, you know, I just put it out there and shared it with folks and kept doing it. And so the last episode that I did last week was episode 6. And I believe it's actually at just under 10,000 views right now. Within the first 2 hours of airing, it had about 5,500 views. It now, you know, it had 104 shares in the first hour. It's an opportunity. And I created it again out of a place of giving. Everything that I've created during this time,
it's free advertisements or something.
Exactly, and that's what I tell.
Are all these views inside the group then? The views or the views?
Not anymore. No, like I said, episode 6, episode 5. We started airing on my business page because the group, the entrepreneur group, wanted to share it in their group, but they encouraged me to put it onto my page because I guess it was starting to get more attention and people couldn't find it as easily.
Yes, finding the group. Yes.
Exactly. And so now, like I said, episode 6 aired on my business page, on Avid Intellectuals page on Facebook. And that's where we gathered up the 10,000 views from multiple group sources and things of that nature.
I need that lady's phone number. I need her to do it for free for me too.
Yeah. Well, I recently hired her because of just like how amazing. As a matter of fact, she offered to do it for free, and I told her no because
at one point,
she's another mochalicious sister like us, and so you know I told her no, I refuse to take your services for free, and so we worked out a very
exactly what we're talking about, sustainability and the burnout.
Yeah, we worked out a very sustainable fee at the beginning, and now like I say, I hired her on, her and her team. And what she offers is something absolutely incredible, and I definitely will give you. And it's so affordable, you will be blown away, believe me.
So here's it, and I'm going to be selfish. I want her because I have an event coming up. But also, if she could do that for you, which, you know, my content, not everybody's content is good, but I know my content is good, and I know your content is good. As a matter of fact, while you were talking to me earlier on, when you said that, I just thought about someone. I was like, I just wrote her name down earlier on. I was like, I have to write the name so I can remember to tell you that she's probably a physician that you might want to get. She's an NP, but she's in the mental health arena anyway. So I was just like, I need to write her name so I'll remember to tell you. So remind me to tell you, because you know you had asked me and I said I was going to get people, but now I remember that lady specifically is in the mental health arena. So just remind me to
Oh yeah. The last few weeks, we've had quite a few in mental health. I had a licensed clinical social worker. I had a licensed marriage and family therapist. And this coming week on the 11th, I have a licensed clinical psychologist as well as a licensed clinical social worker. They're going to be 2 guests. And they co-wrote an article about COVID-19 and the needs of children.
Yeah, I saw the previous what's it called, flyer. I was like, oh, I saw the flyer. But she's a nurse practitioner, so she's a little different energy. She's a nurse.
Yes.
And then she's.
Oh no, I don't. Trust me. The more the merrier. I don't cherry pick. Believe me, if they are in private practice, they're a practice owner. They're working on it. Like yes, I want them because I want, like I said, to provide them with the free publicity, the platform, and also I want to provide the viewers with what's
Options.
available to them.
Exactly, in San Antonio, because she's in San Antonio, and then the other person might be in Michigan or whatever. I love
Exactly.
it. I'm enjoying it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And of course, your business is called Avid Intellectuals. We might even be signing up with y'all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And so, you know, like I said, and then
I like
also
what you do. I like what you do. You said,
in the last week, I also started a free business builder challenge. And the business builder challenge just teaches people how to set up a LLC or a corporation in their state and how to get the EIN from the IRS once they've set up in their state. So just the basics and what the benefits are of doing that. That alone also, that group has 160 members now. That also created a lot of attention to my business page and to my my stream, my live stream. In the last 4 or 5 days, I've gotten 100 new likes, literally 100 new likes to my business page. I think actually 130. I have Facebook designated me as a public figure. So now I have followers, and now I have 155, 160 followers in the last 3 days.
we'll take it.
You know, I don't even know what this means.
Where they're coming from. Exactly. Me too. I was like, and then I just woke up, I was like, okay, I have 3,500. Is that good? They're like, oh, that's okay if it's good.
Right?
I mean, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
But, you know, whatever. But I'm happy for you. I'm very proud of you. I mean, you know, just hey.
But
You know,
yeah, I've also attracted 5 or 6 potential practices that are interested in our strategic planning and expansion services. I'm also having a hashtag Doctors Without Burnout virtual conference in September. And trust me, all of these things created momentum and attention and good karma, really, like, you know, just allowed for me to really give of myself. And instead of selling, you know, I don't sell. Like, people come to me and they're like, you know, how can you work for me? Like, that's really how it is now. It's I don't sell.
but you know, but because you did 3 things. You got the 3 P's. You were
Yes.
positive, you got a positive energy. You wanted to stay productive and present. I mean, it doesn't get any better than you do get the energy you give out. I'm a firm believer in that. You do get the energy that you give out. Even the lady who ended up offering her free services, now you could see what she could do with free, you know. So this is it right here. I mean, the other day I was just minding my business and the New York Times called me. I'm like, what? What do you mean?
I saw
the little things like that. It's like, oh, and then the TV wanted to interview me, and then I got everybody wants to interview. I said, okay, this is good. This is any kind of publicity, as long as it's good publicity, is good for us. You know, we don't want anything negative, because you're just being authentic. You're just being your own, your real authentic self, and that's it. I mean, no one is perfect. It's just progress, right? And that's all we ask for. I love it. I'm very proud of you. You know that. You know, I've told you this too many times. I can't even tell you again enough to be proud. I'm proud of you. Just keep up the good work. It doesn't get any better. While many people during this COVID-19 are woe is me, you're not woe is me. You're like, okay, what can we do next? And that's what they say, preparation is key. If you're prepared, if you get ready now, while, you know, we're not too sure. When we're free, you'll be launched to stratosphere level. That's it. Give me the phone number of that lady.
Oh yeah, well now I'll text you in Messenger. I got you.
All right, so yeah, we're in like the home stretch now. So what, if any, words of advice for other people like you and me? And it doesn't have to be mochalicious necessarily, because Miss Anne Contrucci thinks she's mochalicious, my sister. But yeah, so what, you know, words of advice for parents, single parents? That's a nice twist to it, right? With young children, because there's single parents with older children. That's different. Single parents with younger children, which is where you fall in, and of course, professionally and such. Just words of advice.
So I guess a couple of things. So first, I want people to be very aware that there is a code in the DCF, whatever your children and family services is in your state, that allows for your children to be removed from your care if you are found to be positive with COVID-19.
Ouch. I have never heard that before. That's amazing. And I'm a pediatrician.
I know. So like I said, I wanna, if I'm gonna share a tidbit, that is the tidbit I wanna share with every single parent out there. Please understand that, and you can check this with your particular state. I know it's in Washington, I know it's in Virginia, I know it's in Florida, I know it's in New York. So these are just places where I know folks. So I would check it, but 9 times out of 10, this is a federal statute that came down without anybody really knowing. So be mindful that if you are found to be positive with COVID-19, that they can remove your children from your care.
Wow.
Yeah. So on that note, one of your previous guests spoke of late ER visits because people don't necessarily know or want to when to go to the ER. And that's another really big reason why I have my live series, is because people don't know right now that you can get a virtual office visit. The virtual office visits can really give you a whole lot of information, but they can't necessarily diagnose. And so for that reason, you can kind of slide on the fence and be in a safer position with your children than necessarily, going into the emergency room if it's not necessary. Again, you can also find out if it's really necessary through these virtual office visits. So again, you don't have to wait. You can get a lot of stuff, and virtual telemedicine is covered by every insurance company at this point, both public and private. So we're talking about Medicaid all the way to Aetna, United, Humana. All of these are now reimbursing for telemedicine and teletherapy services. So on the back of your insurance card, if you have insurance, there is a membership number. You can contact that number and they can put you in touch with teletherapy providers as well, who are anywhere in your state. They don't need to be down the street anymore. They can be anywhere in your state.
That's the beauty of telemedicine.
Exactly. So anywhere in your state is beautiful. Last but not least, I want to do a little plug for my PR guy. His name is Alexander Velichko. He recently wrote an article about myself and 11 other entrepreneurs called 12 Top Entrepreneurs Share Their Pandemic Growth Strategies. I do talk about my 3 Ps in there as well, but I also talk about 3 other things that I think is really important right now in order to create and maintain growth. The first is innovation. I know that this is gonna sound funny, but nobody ever got rich, nobody ever got famous, nobody ever did anything noteworthy by doing what had already been done.
I knew you were going to say that. The Fords of the world, the Teslas of the world, the Virgin Airlines of the world. This is it. This is it.
So it's funny that coming from someone who holds 5 degrees is going to say that learning what other people already did is not the way to success, but that's the way to ideas. Learning what other people already did is the way to ideas. And so learning every day is still absolutely necessary, but innovation is what is going to get you to that next level. Number 2, collaboration. Right now is the time to partner, to put things together that have never been together before. This is the time to collaborate. What I do in my practice, what I do is expansion of these other private practices by adding in collaborative and auxiliary services that they don't have to manage now. They just get to enjoy this additional revenue stream.
Awesome.
And so collaboration is another way that is going to move you forward. And finally, 3 is generosity. Generosity is what is going to really, really make things start to fly. Like, I had no idea. It took me months to think of what could I give away to the world for free. It took me time to find all of the parts that I could learn how to get the information out there. All of these things took time for me. And I've gotten, a virtual assistant that also helps with a lot of these things. Like I said, the creation of the momentum is done through this generosity. And so, like I said, Alexander got me featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. And so, like I said, he's got a really, really great program as well. He's got like a monthly thing where he can churn out PR stuff every month. They can write it for you for like $60. I mean, yeah. So I just want to, like I said, put a little plug out.
That's amazing, because so that's actually also partially how you grew, I'm thinking, right? But
every marketing person would be angry with me because I don't know where anybody came from. I don't know what ROI. I don't know what, I don't know what KTP. I don't know what any of these letters mean. I don't know what any of these things do, but like, I'm a baby with this stuff. But what I know is, like you said, the more that you put out, the more that you give, is going to, like, and also, like I said, the more that you partner and you collaborate and you share the wealth, you share the information, you share the access to people, the more that you do that, the more successful you're going to be. I mean, like I said,
access to people is critical. That is a big one. Just now, I just said I'm going to connect you to somebody, and the 2 of you are going to, get together or not. It doesn't matter, but I've done my part.
You've already connected me with 2 other doctors that are already in the roster. I'm booked up till September.
Oh, wow. For real?
Yes.
That is amazing. And it's every Thursday. I remember that.
Every Thursday at 8 p.m.
Well, at that point now, where can the people find you? So you might as well just go ahead and put all your plugs in.
All my plugs, right? So my Facebook Live series is on my Avid Intellectual Business Facebook page. It's Avid Intellectual Inc. And you can easily find that. It is at 8 p.m. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Thursday, so 5 p.m. Pacific. Every week I have on a different doctor that I present. So if you're a private practice and you would like to be featured on my show, please contact me at Avid Intellectual or Facebook.com/Dr. Drummond PsyD. So Dr. Drummond PSYD. That's my personal profile, and I put that in quotations because I don't feel like there's anything really personal. It's really all about me and my brand, because my brand is really about creating a better place than I left. And so the reason that I do that, like, everyone who works for me works less than they would work if they work somewhere else. They get paid more than if they work somewhere else. The idea for me is that everyone who encounters me has a better life balance, because I have created a better work-life balance for myself. And I want to share that with others. Another thing I want to point out too, though, is through this pivot, because I closed pretty much all of our brick and mortar locations, my services have become almost entirely virtual.
Yeah, it's now without borders. Yes, it's now without borders.
Exactly. And now, because of that, I have the option of spending 2-3 months in Jamaica, which I'm going to be doing in October.
I was going to ask you if you're Jamaican, actually. I was going to ask if you're Jamaican.
Yes.
Are you Jamaican?
I'm going home.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. I was going to ask if you were Jamaican. My wife is Jamaican. She's been there once. But at least she's been there. She's been to the motherland. Okay, good. Anything else?
Those
I'm
two
excited
places are
for
the
you.
best
I'm
two.
excited for you. I'm happy for you. I'm excited that I'm going to meet your marketing lady. I'm excited, that I know you. I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, I think you saw me say, I need doctors, and you're like, I'm in. And that's the energy that I like. That's the end. I was like, you're in. And I was like, you're in for real. And we need to do that for each other. With all the things that are going on in the world now, I swear to God, especially the Black females, we need to uplift. If there's ever been a time when we needed to lift up each other, it's now.
What I always like to tell people is that Black women are now the most educated demographic in the United States.
Oh yeah,
So
that came out. Yeah, I remember when that came out.
If we think about that, you know what I'm saying? If we just think about that, like I said, myself alone, after high school, I have 5 degrees. I have 2 bachelors, 2 masters, and a doctorate. As far even just me alone, so we're looking at, like you said, there's no better group of people to uplift one another. There's no better group. We know the most. We understand the most. We are the most educated. There's no better group.
Sadly, we're also the most vulnerable to self-injury, if you know what I mean. Like just wham, 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 like who does she think she is.com, which is not just bullshit. But hey, I'm happy that we met, and this is only the beginning. Yesterday, Sunday, I had what, 2 Black males and 2 white males, and my son doing the conversations about race, men and race in America. These men, I literally met all of them just like that, just by chance. I think we all had podcasts. One of them was on my podcast, just like that. And then boom, I said, guys, I have a feeling we're going to work together. I said that to them 2 months ago. And I just have a feeling individually, the energy. And then this thing happened. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have one for moms, then one for men, then maybe one for dads. And then boom, and then we had the one yesterday, and we got picked by some group that has like 70,000 members, and they featured us and like, listen to this. I'm like, oh my God, just because I said, I want people to have an avenue to talk. Just come and let's just share. So it was really, I was very happy. I'm very happy with the fact that I still doubt myself like everybody does, but I don't wallow in it for like a minute or two. And then I'm like, okay, I need to do something else right now. Get busy.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Candace, it's been awesome having you over. Thank you so much for coming back to my house to visit, because I came to your house a couple of weeks ago. So this is exactly the dream that I had. I had a dream, and I picked doctors because my podcast is not for doctors, it's for everybody. But I just said, you know what? That lady that killed herself, I was done. I was like, okay, that's it. Maybe if I had spoken to her the day before, of course, in my mind, I'm like, maybe she would have, maybe. Okay, I'm going to talk to only doctors. And so then it came like, I want to do 19 doctors because it's COVID-19. But now, COVID-19 is now kind of obsolete. So now I'm just doing your wellness and you, how are you really doing? And then from there, we just take it off. So thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. And like, others have said, it really is kind of cathartic to have the opportunity to talk about myself and how I'm doing.
Yeah, because we by nature, the first 30 minutes you're talking about your baby. That's how we are. We just, oh my, no, you, how are you doing? And that's what I want. That's what I want this space for. I have about 12 people that have just like boom, boom, boom. Everyone's just like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. I'll get to interview everybody. Everybody wants to talk about how they're doing or not doing, or not doing, which is also okay. It's okay not to be.
Like I said, this is an opportunity not only for the ones that have been shuttered, at least with me, with Avid Intellectual, for the private practices that have been shuttered to reopen stronger. Mm-hmm. Like I said, what the services that we provide are at no cost to the practice. It's a free consultation and it's on a fee-for-service basis. So they only pay if the services are provided. Mm-hmm. So again, it really allows for them to grow out those services. We negotiate higher reimbursement rates from insurance companies if they have insurance clients, because now they're a multidisciplinary practice. We do a lot to really allow them to reopen stronger, reopen bigger, and increase access to the much needed mental health services for their existing patients and the community at large that they serve.
So, but what about people like me who have a private practice and I'm all cash pay? Do you work with?
Oh yes, we absolutely do. I have another that we're working with, an acupuncturist, as a matter of fact, that we're working with. Same thing. We include these auxiliary services. We ask pretty much, who would you refer to the most? So we get an idea of what other services build best into your practice. And then we go from there to, like I said, develop out these auxiliary services, and we will fit the same model that you, like I said, we become that within your agency. So we will fit the same model, the same payment structure, the same everything, in order, like I said, within your existing model.
That's fantastic. Well, it has been real. I love it. And just fantastic. I know no one will believe that we literally just met each other last month, but that's okay. That's what energy does. And so I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for gracing our pages. I really, really appreciate it. So I guess I'll see you around, because we're going to be working together now. All this business we're going to be doing together.
Definitely. Good night. Thank you so much.
This is Your Wellness and You with Dr. Lulu. I'll see you guys next week. Deuces. Bye.